than what we are doing every day. So today I have actually selected few of the contents that I'm going to share with you all that is going to enrich your knowledge, that is going to enrich your vision about your own future with Python. Not only like this way, I'm learning Python right now, you can say, but do you actually know that where you are going to land up? So we are going to land up at a particular point when we can conceive an idea or conceive a problem, and we can think of generating the solution of that. So as I told you, and I keep on telling all of you in the lectures, that I'm not letting you limit to some of the basic problems. I want you all to think beyond a particular limit. When you start thinking about the kind of applications that yes can be developed at, so your vision is going to be increased, and once your vision is going to be increased, then at the time you will start attempting to do something bigger that you are right now doing. So आज हम कुछ ऐसा करेंगे जो आपको अच्छा लगेगा सुनने में, और साथ ही साथ शायद आप में से बहुत सारे लोग they should be motivated by creating some applications. And think, if you are not thinking of creating applications right away, शायद आप लोगों में से बहुत सारे उन लोगों का विजन थोड़ा सा और क्लियर हो जाएगा, उनका और बढ़ जाएगा, दायरा बढ़ जाएगा, where they can think beyond the kind of problems they are going to face as well as they are going to develop. So my expectations from you are much bigger than what you are expecting from your side. So today's session I have devoted so as to share my expectations with you, and if I am expecting something out of you, I must tell you where you should land. So आज कुछ ऐसा देखेंगे हम, कुछ स्पेशल देखेंगे पाइथन एप्लीकेशंस में जो शायद हमारे अभी तक जितना आपने लर्निंग किया उससे हटकर है. So whatever I will be writing very less, I'll be talking more. So whatever I write in terms of the code today, आप लोगों को बहुत डिटेल में उसको जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. You are just to see what is happening, how it is happening, that is there to think upon. So don't share with me like, sir, इस function का क्या meaning है, sir, इस function का क्या meaning है. I may use few of the modules or few of the functions today जो शायद अभी तक आपने नहीं किया है. So don't go by that, but just see their output, just see the result that they are going to produce, right? So to start today's lecture, I am going to start with a word that I expect, and I actually want to see how many of you know about that word, or you have just listened about that word. So that question is going to come onto your screen right now. You just tell me that how many of you can respond to that, right? So let me go to that question and generate it. Just see it. So have you ever listened about this word, an API? So how many of you know about what is API? I want an answer right away. Don't go for Google. Don't Google it. Don't Google it. If you are having an idea, just share it with me, right? Don't go for Googling because there is no rewards for answering. So I just want to see how many of you know about this. Fantastic. Fantastic, fantastic. You shouldn't have devoted this much of time. I want an answer right away. Don't try to Google. I'm just seeing you all. Don't try to Google it. Now, after this moment, if you are answering, that means you are seeing somewhere. So I don't need copies. I'm glad to see many of you know about and listened about this word. Now, what exactly this API is? Now we are to see this power. This is a huge unsung heroes. You know, I call it as an unsung hero in software development because we always talk about software development and we are never ever aware about whether we are going to use it or not. So many of the times we use it, but we are not aware that we are using APIs. So what exactly the API is? Yes, you people are correct that it is your application programming interface. So thanks for answering. Now we will be seeing about an API today. So many of you might have heard about, but you might not be aware of what exactly is the power of API. And if we know about APIs, are we going to develop that, or are we going to generate that, are we going to use that? So I will be discussing about one of the applications where we can actually use those APIs together. You know, if we know about APIs, that will extend your vision about writing Python projects in a huge way. So now that once I'm going to give you that vision, I think that the ideas, the problems, the solutions that are going to come to your brain right now are going to be in many folds right now. So what an application interface, application programming interface is? You know, have you ever gone through, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of explaining this API to you as a beginner. You know, if you have ever gone to a restaurant to have something, to eat something. So when you enter into a restaurant, you sit on a chair and now that you want something to eat. So now the thing that you want to eat is being cooked in the kitchen. Now there is a path between you and the kitchen. It's not that if I want to have noodles, I will straight away go into the kitchen and find noodles there and get that and bring that to my table. It's not my job. So what I do, sitting in the restaurant, I call the waiter. I call the waiter and ask him, I want noodles to have. So if I want noodles, he will actually go to the kitchen and get the noodles ready and bring it to you. Now, this scenario, if we relate it to, now that waiter is basically your API. That waiter is the API. And what you and the kitchen is, you are two applications. Now, I as an application is demanding something from another application. So if I need something from that application, which it can generate, who will bring that thing to me from that application? It is that application programming interface. So now I turn the table. I am a kitchen. I have lots of things to offer. Now you come to me and you say, I want this. So what I as a kitchen will say that, get the API. So if I am having that API, so what that API is, I'll send that API to you. So you will have to, once you enter into the restaurant, you are registering for that API. So once you register yourself as an API, because as inside the kitchen, I'm not going to go to the road and find someone and say, take this. No, at all. It is somebody from outside should come to the restaurant, get himself or herself registered and ask me, yes, I want this. So I will see if the person who is asking, is he or she is registered with me. If you are registered, I'll give you that API key. So if you are having that API key, you now can use that API key to come to me so that I could deliver that something to you. So that API key is just like this onto your screen. You can see this. This is one of the examples of API key, but this is not an API. This to raise the API, we should raise the application request. So I will send a request with this API. So once the request will actually be received by the kitchen, he will check that API key. If that API key is a valid key, he will authenticate you, and जो application request लेकर आया है, that API requester is Mr. API who has come to me with your API key. I will send your product to that. So he will deliver actually to you. So इस example से आपको समझ में आया होगा थोड़ा सा कि exactly application program क्या करता है, interface क्या करता है. So this application programming interface actually is a communication between two programs, right? Now, after this very rough or raw idea about APIs, I will say now first thing is like I want to share this API with you. Well, let me say today's agenda is your API. Now, I give you an example of actually a software application sending a request. Now, ये जो idea अब मैं आपके साथ share करूँगा, now we are going to implement that. मैं आपको इसका example से इसको हम करके भी देखेंगे. Now, take an example of like, have you ever Googled for getting that weather information at your mobile? Many of the times you must have done. So what you do in order to have the weather information, you search for that. You never know when you say that, what is the temperature at Chandigarh? So once you write that, somebody from outside sends you that weather information. So who is that somebody? Who is measuring the temperature or weather information of a particular city? Who is doing that? I am never worried about. You know, somebody, koi to hai na, who is sending you that weather information. So somebody who is actually giving you that information is an application. So basically what you do is, once you write on the Google search, weather at this city, what you are doing is you are sending a request to some application. Now that application is basically sending you the information, but during that process, मुझे कभी भी पता नहीं चलता कि I am making an API call. You know, because every one of you, आप अभी after +2, you can say and call yourself as a techie person, but there are so many outside who are not techie persons but are doing the same thing. They are also fetching the weather information onto their mobile using Google, but they are actually not aware of that. They are using API calls. So now, once you are sending that, once you are asking for that weather information from somebody, so that API call is something that you are making. With this, I just will create an application for you. Let us implement another one. Let me give you another idea of an example. Have you ever seen, like many of you might have traveled through train, and many of you might have gone through the process of getting reservations at Indian Railways. Now, once you are actually registered or reserve a particular train seat, what you get in? You get a train ticket, and many a times that that seat is not exactly confirmed. That comes in waiting, and you are given what? You are asked to go to the Indian Railway website and check their PNR status. आप अपनी ticket का status बार-बार check करने के लिए you go to the same Indian Railway site and check the PNR status. You know, अगर आपने देखा होगा ये PNR status या अपनी ticket का status देखने के लिए कौन सी site use करते हैं आप? बहुत साल पहले कुछ एक ही site थी, like indianrail.gov.in, or might be somebody else who is actually the website of Indian Railways. But now that you can, if you want to go for Google, you will see that there are so many else. There are so many other websites also who are fetching the PNR status from Indian Railways and delivering that to you. Now suppose, अब मैं इसको थोड़ा सा और extend करता हूँ. I want to have my own website, and from my website, I want to deliver this service. Which type of service? That I want that people should come to my site if they want to know the status of their own tickets. So what I'll do, I'm not Indian Railways, so how can I deliver the PNR status to a particular person? So what I do is, I will go to Indian Railways and request for the API. So Indian Railways is also having an API which delivers what? Which delivers so many types of information. Types of information about the status of your ticket, your status of the particular train which is running at that particular moment of time, and many other services which Indian Railways gives. So the type of service which I require from Indian Railways, first I will buy that from Indian Railway. So that API key which I suppose to take from Indian Railways, I will, sometimes it can not be free. So the sites which are using Indian Railways API, they are actually buying, they have actually bought that API. That means उन्होंने permission ली है Indian Railways से in the form of owning that API, so that he can deliver the same information to the other persons, right? ऐसे बहुत सारे examples. Like for example, I tell you, like आप, do you know that आपके जो घर का address है, everybody, every one of you, that address of every one of you is exactly denoted by the latitude and longitude, which is called as your geocodes. आप अभी या किसी भी time आप अपने Google को आप इसे Google कर सकते हैं, and you can type on the lat long of the request, the lat long of the location. आप इसे उल्टा भी कर सकते हैं, location to lat long. So there are applications which give you that. So आप ऐसे किसी वेबसाइट पर जाएंगे who gives you the service of giving you the latitude and longitude of your address. So आप देखेंगे ऐसी वेबसाइट्स होंगी जो आपको Google सर्च जैसा टेक्स्ट बॉक्स देंगी, जहां पर आप अपना एड्रेस पास करेंगे और क्लिक करेंगे तो आपको अपना latitude and longitude coordinate मिलेगा, which is the geocode of your location. It is the international geocode location, which is unique. You know, so that website that gives you the latitude and longitude, it must be getting that from somebody. So as you know that Google Maps is the most frequently being used application, which is providing you the location informations, the directions information, the distance information. So what they are having, they are owning one of the API which can give you these type of services. So अगर मुझे ऐसा एप्लीकेशन बनाना है कि मैं चाहता हूं कि मुझे अपने घर से चितकारा यूनिवर्सिटी कितनी दूर है वो मुझे पता चल जाए. So how will I build it? I will have to make an owner of that API. मुझे उस API रिक्वेस्ट पर जाना पड़ेगा. अब ये एप्लीकेशन राइट फ्रॉम द स्क्रैच आप नहीं बना सकते. You know, when there is somebody who is already giving it to you, so why to do it? ये बिल्कुल वैसा ही है जैसे मुझे अगर नूडल्स बनाने हैं तो मैं रेस्टोरेंट में जाके सीधे खा सकता हूँ. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं पहले घर में मैन्युफैक्चर करूंगा नूडल्स को, फिर मैं उसे पूरा उसका रॉ मटेरियल लाके उसे बना के उसे कुक ड्राई करूंगा और पहले उसे मैं रॉ नूडल्स बनाऊंगा, फिर मैं किचन में जाके उसे बॉईल करके अपने नूडल्स बना के इंग्रेडिएंट डाल के खाऊंगा. दिस इज वन वे, बट दिस इज अ लेंथियर वे. व्हाई आर यू wasting your time in creating the whole raw recipe when somebody is already there to give you one cooked product? So that is the power of APIs, you know. So without wasting and बहुत बातें हो गई, तो अभी मैं आपको एक छोटा सा एप्लीकेशन ही बना के दिखाता हूँ. So you just see how we can make use of an API in just 4-5 lines of code in Python, right? So let us see that. So मैं आपको जो एप्लीकेशन अभी बना के दिखा रहा हूँ, that is your weather information. So weather information is the most frequently being used. आप देखेंगे जिन स्टूडेंट्स को या जिन लोगों ने APIs को एक्चुअली यूज किया है, दिस इज द बेसिक फाउंडेशन API जो वो बहुत बार यूज कर चुके होंगे. सो मैं वही बेसिक बहुत सिंपल API आपके लिए दिखा रहा हूँ ताकि आप भी उसको यूज कर सके. इट इज मोस्ट फ्रीक्वेंटली बीइंग यूज्ड API, राइट? सो लेट मी शो यू फर्स्ट to whom I will be requesting. It is your weather information. So I'll be writing open weather map. So this open weather map is basically this is one call API from open weather. So if you just click on this openweather.org, I have already registered on that. I am having an account on this. You can see my name here, and what you can do is once you will go into this, you will have to get yourself registered. Do sign up, and it will request for your email ID and will send a verification mail to your email ID, and will, once it is approved, you'll be having a simple account. And that's a very good API to make a call first. तो आप जैसे इस वेबसाइट पर आएंगे तो आप सीधा ही APIs पर जा सकते हैं. And the top of it you can say API. So once you click upon API, so that gives you a lot of services through their APIs. Means you can have hourly forecast, you can see the climate forecast of 30 days. So many types of informations it is giving you. But I just want to have a basic current weather data. So what you can do is that API request you can always have. So once you click upon this one, I'm already subscribed to it, right? So once you see upon this API doc, it will give you the API, the URL of the API that you can use. So this is basically the URL, Uniform Resource Locator. And you know that this is the address of any website. So you can use this one. So what I have done is, इसको copy कर लेते हैं. इसको copy कर लेते हैं यहाँ पर. So I'll be using this one. So I'll be providing only city name and I'll be providing the API key and it will fetch the information directly. You know, you just need to give the city name. So what is the API? So if you click upon this one, because I'm registered here, it will show you the API that it has provided to me. So this is the API key it has provided, and I can generate so many else also, right? I'll be writing the name and will click upon generate. It will be generating this kind of an API key. So because I right now don't need any other ones, this service is free, given by Open Weather Map. So I'll just keep copy this particular one, right, and come back. So I basically need this one. So इसको copy कर लेते हैं. इसको copy करते हैं यहाँ पर, और मैं key already मेरे पास है, मैं already यहाँ पर रखा हुआ है. So just let me write this and turn this whole into a URL string of Python. So what I'll write it in http://API with the map and enclose within double quotes. तो आपको मालूम है Python में इसे string बोलते हैं, ठीक है? अब जहां पर ये API की लिखा है, यहां पर मैं इसे रिप्लेस कर दूंगा अपनी API से. This is the key that it has provided to me. So just copy this and paste it right here. And then I'll place the city name here. So I will write Chandigarh here. Let me replace this city name with a valid city name. So I'll write Chandigarh here and just do this. So this URL is ready, right? Now, once this URL is ready, I have provided the city as well as the API key. Now that the task is to make a call to this API. So how to do that? You know, in Python, I told you that Python is a very lovely language. It does the task. It just replaces the task into a very easy one. Why? Because it is so enriched in the libraries. There are huge modules. They are already prepared and they can give you the information right at any moment of time, right? And let me show you. Just give me a second. Just give me a second, and I just install it on the machine. It is the request module. Okay, so let me do that where it is. Yes. So I will do what? I will say import requests. So this is the module that I'll be using. Let me just run that, and it is already there. And then what I'll do is I just need to make a call to this. So how will I get? I will make use of this request module, request.get function, and I will pass on this whole URL to it. So once I pass this URL to it, right, this will return me the response. Once I make a get, this get function is used to make a request to this URL. So what it does, it will send me a response. So what I'll do is I'll say res.request.get, right? So once I do this, what it'll do, this will actually send me some response from, because whenever I make a call, this is going to send me some data. This is going to send me some data in reply. So what is that reply data? You know, there are many forms of the data which are being returned by a particular HTTP request or means a website request. So आज हम उसको ज़्यादा डिटेल में नहीं देंगे, बट मैं नाम बता रहा हूँ आपको, आप लोगों में से बहुत सारे लोगों ने सुना होगा. One type of data format is called as XML format, and another form is called as JSON format. ज़्यादा डिटेल में नहीं जाना है इसको, just to see that, just see. It's not going to be very difficult. So there is one more function of this res that I call, that is res.json. What this JSON does is it converts that data which is being returned from that URL into JSON format. So let me call it as some format. एक फॉर्मेट वेरिएबल के अंदर इसको सेव कर लेते हैं, इसका नाम चेंज कर देते हैं, कुछ भी रख देते हैं, सपोज आई रख लेते हैं, आई इज इक्वल टू res.json. So once I do this one, you know, and I just try to print it, let us see what happens. Let us see what happens just in 3 lines of code. See this, what has been returned. What it has returned is, it has returned the longitude also, the latitude also it has sent me the temperature. So this is what is being, I actually am interested in knowing that. So ये क्या है basically, ये Python में आप लोगों ने अभी तक नहीं पढ़ा है. Basically this is actually a dictionary in Python. अभी तक आपने Python में string और list देखा है, tuple भी थोड़ा सा देखा, but this is actually a dictionary. We'll understand dictionary one day, but this is not the time to go for the nitty-gritties of dictionary. I just tell you how to get exactly the temperature from this. इस value को कैसे पढ़ना है, ठीक है, इसको कैसे देखेंगे. So इसमें से हम I में से सिर्फ निकालना है main, because it is in the main, it belongs to the main category, and I just store it in J. And let me show you what is J now. Now J is what? J is only this one. J is another dictionary. So it is also giving you like a temperature also, feels like also, minimum temperature also. I don't know, I don't need others one. I need only that temperature. So I will say print J of temp only. So I am interested in temperature. So let me just print that. This is the temperature of Chandigarh. So many of you might be saying that it's not temperature. What is this? Actually, this is in the Kelvin format. It is in the Kelvin, it's not in Celsius. And if somebody knows about how to convert a Kelvin into centigrades or Celsius, you know that there is a formula. You just subtract 273.15 from any Kelvin, that will be converting into Celsius. So this is actually the temperature that it has sent me once you have made a request. So एक चीज आपने ध्यान से देखनी है कि इसको बार बार कॉल नहीं करना है. ये मैं इस API पर मैं बार बार रन करूंगा. सो आप देखेंगे इसमें, अगर इस वेबसाइट पर जाकर इसको थोड़ा सा और डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे तो आपको ये कहीं बताएगा दैट आप इस API को हाउ मेनी टाइम्स यू कैन कॉल, यू नो, बेसिकली बिकॉज इट इज अ फ्री, it's a free account, so might be it is giving you only 50 to 60 times in a day. You may go to call this API to get the weather information, right? So see how much easy it is. You sitting at home by your own application, you are able to get the temperature, and not only temperature, you were actually able to see the lat long of your city also. This is the latitude and longitude of Chandigarh. So let me show you. In fact, if you see this is actually a wrong latitude, so you can Google the latitude of lat long. Short में इसको lat long बोलते हैं. Lat long to address it is same. So lat long to location you also can convert that. And मैं यहाँ सीधा ही लिख लूँ Chandigarh, right? Any address you can see. So see, this is 30.7191. and 76.7487. This it has been given, and you can see it matches with this 30.73, 76.79. So you can place it for any city. So let me check it for suppose New Delhi. I'll say Delhi right here. Replace the city name with this one. Replace and just run it, and it will show you that temperature of Delhi is just 33.46. So it is, the city name is Delhi right now, and its lat long has also got changed. So see how much easy it is to fetch the information from another one. So just like you have requested for the noodles and you have got that. So it is actually this line of code which is making everything for you. You are making a call, ready, and you know Python is so powerful. You need to send your API call to any API provider. You need to use only this request module, and request.get is a normal function that you'll be calling every time. You know, so this is, see this how much ease it has, with how much ease it has given you. So this is the power of API, and I love Python in this way. You know, 4 years back when I actually started learning Python, because I at that time was certified in Java, and I was very much influenced with Java language. I never could actually listen anything against Java language, but at that time many of my own colleagues or the industry people, they were saying like you need to migrate to Java, Python language. So I was not interested in, until unless one day my research forced me to work on Python, and I saw it, and once I touched that, I was so impressed with the power of Python language, and I feel like if I had not learned Python, I would have missed something, because it has actually reduced the time to actually so many applications that I wanted to create. And you would also feel that using these many lines, you can, if you are able to do that, if you are to do the same in Java language, you will have to write a little bit more number of lines. And you can see, in fact, this one of the figures I have gotten from somewhere, and you can see the growth of major programming languages. And now that you can see that Python is rising like anything, and it is just competing with Java. It is just giving you an year-on information of 2018, but you see in 2020 that it has surpassed all programming languages right now. So it is a wonderful language, right? So let us now do something else. This Python, I can speak hours and hours on Python, and the things will never be actually stopping. There are huge, so many things which we can know about. And I tell you, one more application. Let us work upon one more application. So just come to this one. What is the new thing? One more thing I would like to share. आज आप सभी लोग इकट्ठे हैं, and I have seen so many people requesting for something. Let me just share something with you. What is this? Just give me a moment. I just share something with you. Can I do something? Let me see, I wanted to share a file with you actually. Let me see, let me attach it with, find out the way, how can I just send that particular file to you. Just let me check out. Can I send you a file? If host is present there and listening to me, can you give me the privileges so that I could share a file with my students? Right now I'm not getting any link where I can share that file with you also. Just let me find out. I'm not getting that. For all the people, Hemant, I have given everybody a privilege to access to my drive. आप लोगों ने जितने स्टूडेंट्स ने रिक्वेस्ट किया है ड्राइव को, आप आज दोबारा चेक करेंगे, अभी नहीं करेंगे, आप लेक्चर खत्म होने के बाद आप करेंगे, तो आपको सभी को परमिशन दी हुई है. आई हैव अलाउड एवरीबडी टू एंटर, बट you should not enter the drive with your Gmail IDs. You need to use your Chitkara IDs only to connect to that particular drive. That drive is there accessible to you right now. I've seen people were not able to join. I had configured that. That problem has been resolved. If you go to that drive right now, you will be able to enter that. I can share, I know, but in chat box there is no, I'm not getting that link where I could share. Don't write anything into the chat box, please. It is going to be so filled up. I'm not able to see. Yes, Chinmay has shared that. You can go to that drive. It is open. Varun, APIs do not affect cybersecurity. Oh, everybody, the APIs are of two types. Some APIs are public. So, if somebody API provider is giving you a public API, so it is legal. So you can use that. Even Facebook, even Google, and even Instagrams, they are also sharing their APIs. So you can go to their sites, you can check out Facebook APIs, and you can see through what kind of services Facebook is providing to you. Yes, these APIs can also be used by Java language also. These APIs are not confined to Python. API calls may be utilized using Java language also. Let me request. Give me a moment. I just talked to the host. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. I'm putting a file. I'm putting a PDF file in the drive, and just I'm sharing the link with you. Don't fill this chat box. Just give me a moment. I'm basically uploading an ebook of Python with all of you. and I'm using the same drive link to upload that. So what I've done is I have uploaded an ebook to all of you, and it is available in your drives. You can check out. Hello. So ये chat I've done is I have uploaded that ebook of Python language. So that is with you, with everybody. So now that coming back, let me check out. I have shared an PDF with you, but I want to know that how many of you know what is a PDF? Can you answer this question? The answer is before you all. Can you answer this question? What is the full form of PDF? I'm seeing a lot of responses coming for many of the students who are saying like it is portable document file. And many of, don't Google it. Now that if you are Googling, you will be getting the right answer. Exactly, your PDF is your portable document format. It is not portable document file which you have suggested. It is your portable document format. So now that if you are having a PDF with you, suppose you are having a PDF with you and I want to read that. You know that there are a lot of applications you can open that PDF into many of the browsers, right? Can I convert that PDF for my listening purpose? Can I listen to an PDF file? So if I can listen to a PDF file, you must have read about that there are certain, not ebooks, there are some audiobooks also available. So if there is an audiobook, wouldn't you like to create that audiobook right at your end? So let me give you an example of how you can read that PDF. मैंने आपको एक PDF भेजा है, उसमें बहुत सारे chapters होंगे. So आप अपनी उस PDF को read भी कर सकते हैं and आप उसे listen भी कर सकते हैं. So let me show you another power of Python, how you can just listen to your PDF. So somebody from outside will be reading that PDF for you. So how can I? So let us see that in how few of the lines I can do that. Now I'll be making use of few of the modules again. So one of the modules I'll be using is, that will be your PyPDF. Just note that it is your PyPDF2 I'll be using. That will be used to read a PDF file. Another module that I'll be using is that is your Py TTS X3. This is Py TTS X3 will be used to actually create an audio player for you. So it has, this module gives you an access to an audio player. So what we'll be doing is we'll be reading that PDF page by page, and we'll be sending that page to your audio player, and it will be reading the text. So how you can do that? So first of all, I will have to see which of the PDF I want to read, which of the PDF file I want to read. So I have just created a small kind of a PDF for you all. And just to exemplify this, you can use this program onto any PDF, but remember that don't try to use it for the whole PDF, because normally हमारे पास जो PDF रहती है बहुत सारे पेजेस की रहती हैं, और अगर आपने ये प्रोग्राम चला दिया तो वो बहुत देर तक चलता रहेगा. Now you will have to end that program at your own risk. ठीक है? तो अभी हम क्या करेंगे? बहुत सिंपल काम करना है. So I can choose a PDF name from a system, लेकिन मैं एक डायलॉग बॉक्स भी रख सकता हूं which can actually give me an access to, I can choose any PDF for right. So for that there is a module. इस मॉड्यूल को हम अपने Python में भी पढ़ेंगे. This is a very important and GUI module that is called as Kinter. It is your tkinter. Normally it is pronounced as Kinter only. So it is your Kinter dot file dialog. I can import star. So I will be importing all the functions of file dialog box, and what this will be giving to me is I can just make a call to, my file. So this particular file will be using, I'll be using what? I'll be using an ask open file name. If I say ask open file name, what it does for you? अगर मैं इतना ही प्रोग्राम चलाता हूँ तो पहले मुझे इंपोर्ट कर लिया है मैंने, और इसको अगर मैं एग्जीक्यूट करूंगा, सो व्हाट इट डज फॉर यू, तो इट विल बी क्रिएटिंग दिस वन. आप देख रहे हैं आपकी स्क्रीन पर एक डायलॉग बॉक्स ओपन हो गया है, एंड इट इज आस्किंग यू टू चूज अ फाइल. सो दिस इज अ Python's inbuilt function, right, which it is using. So what I can do is I will have to just make use of this function in order to choose a particular file. So you ask open file name will do what? PyPDF2 से चलेगा. So I'll be using what? I'll be saying reader is equal to, इसका एक फंक्शन है, उसे हम बोलते हैं P कैपिटल है इसका, DF फाइल कैपिटल F एंड रीडर. दिस इज अ फंक्शन PDF फाइल रीडर फंक्शन ऑफ PyPDF2, और इसको मैं पास कर दूंगा वो फाइल नेम जो मैं अभी डायलॉग बॉक्स से सिलेक्ट करूंगा. बहुत सिंपल है, आपने निटी-ग्रिटीज में नहीं जाना है. जस्ट सी हाउ इजी यू आर एबल टू सिलेक्ट अ PDF and just run that, and you can have an access to listening to that. So how will you be doing it? अभी मुझे क्या करना है? अभी मुझे सिर्फ रीड हो गया है मेरा. अभी सिर्फ और सिर्फ मैं क्या कर सकता हूं? मैं सिर्फ इसका पेज जो फर्स्ट होगा, that will be your first page will be your zero page. ठीक है? तो उसको हम कैसे निकालेंगे इसमें से फर्स्ट पेज को? हम लिख सकते हैं my page is equal to reader is ready. I'll be using get page function and passing it to 0. मैं आपको सिर्फ एक ही पेज अभी रीड करके बता रहा हूँ. So if I say at 0, and then I can extract the text from that page. How will I extract the text? I'll be calling page dot extract text function. So if I do this, तो अभी मैं सिर्फ आपको टेक्स्ट ही देख लेते हैं क्या हमारे पास टेक्स्ट आ रहा है. So if I read a particular book, am I able to read that text, whatever is there on the PDF, directly from my program? So let me run this program again. What it allows you, it allows me to choose that, and if I am saying I will be choosing api.pdf, I have just created an example for you. So what it is doing is, आपने देखा जैसे ही मैंने api.pdf open किया, it is showing you the whole content in the form of text, whatever is being written. So that text is already there. That means मेरा बिल्कुल सही अप्रोच है अभी तक. आई एम एबल टू ओपन दैट and I am able to see that page, get the text out of it. Now that I need an audio player only. So how can I get a player? I can get a player using that pyttx3 module. So I'll be just making a call to the function of pyttx3 and the function is init. Once I say init, the player will be ready and now I can use the players say function. इसका बस say function कॉल करना है और उसको मैं text पास कर दूंगा जो भी अभी extract होकर आया है उसको मैं say में पास करूंगा so that the player will be running that audio for you. And just one last function, you need to run that player and you will be calling it as, इसका एक function है player.run and wait. And इसको जैसे ही call करेंगे तो automatically it should start. Let me run that program again so that it is asking me to open that file. The file name is API. You select that, just open that and just wait. Are you able to listen to it? Now this is an example. Let me just mute this. Now, can you see in how many lines I'm able to get the text stored in a PDF file and able to read it for me? So this application can be created in very small number of lines and you never know what I'm doing is. In this case, I'm not using any API. So basically your API request, if you send it from one web page to another web page, then it is called as a REST API. इसको थोड़ा सा और एडवांस एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट नेम है आप गूगल करके देखेंगे तो इसको मिलेगा REST APIs. So basically जो पहला एग्जांपल हमने देखा था when I extracted the weather information, I made use of a REST API call. So which I basically requested a web page of some owner of that API. So I just got that API and made request to it. Now that what I'm doing is I'm just making a call to a module which is able to get me the facility of listening to an audio file. Isn't that interesting? So with these two of the examples that we had just shared, I have just shown you the extent of your vision of Python programming objects or Python programming problems. So you may now be in a state where you can think upon in a very wide way so that will give you a strength, so that will also be giving you some more motivation of working on Python, and it will actually tell you that Python is not difficult at all. It is only the knowledge about the Python, that how it is done. If you need to know only that, if you know how it is done, nothing is going to be very difficult at all. It's not like your C, C++ or Java language where you need an extensive coding in order to access or actually work on a particular application or creating a particular service. In Python, you will be actually able to create a service in a very less time. So that is something that I shared with you. This was one of the motives of my knowledge session. I hope I could have been possible and successful in creating that tinkling into your brain and creating that vision and showing my expectation from your side to you. I hope you are connecting with me and we'll try to actually reach to my expectation. So that is all my expectations from you people are. So now that is all for today's lecture. So let us meet tomorrow and at the same time which was there for every batch. So you'll be using the same link of your exact timings of your lectures of each batch. You know it better, and we'll be going where we had finished in your last lectures, right? So where we had finished in the last lectures, we'll be moving ahead with those concepts in every batch. So thank you very much for today. We'll meet again tomorrow. God bless you all.